Ohio's unemployment rate is seeing a slight increase, but as Local 12's Christian Hauser explains, it's not necessarily a bad thing.
When we hear the unemployment rate, that's a measure of the number of people who are actively looking for a job who don't have one. So for instance, if you quit your job and aren't trying to get a new one, you would not be counted in that rate. I talked with Chris Nysak. He's an economist and co-director of the Alpaugh Family Economics Center at UC to get his take on the report.
It's easy when you hear unemployment increase to assume that's bad for the economy. Generally, when unemployment rates increase, it is. From May to June, however, we saw a large increase in labor force participation.
Nysak says the labor force increase was about 30,000 people. On the other hand, the number of unemployed people only went up by about 13,000. We keep hearing about people turning down or refusing to take low-wage jobs because they were receiving an extra $300 a month in federal unemployment benefits. Well, that ended June 26th, which may force more people to start searching for a job.
It definitely could, but when we see more people getting jobs from month to month than people being unemployed, that's still a good thing for the economy that we're seeing job growth happening.
Year over year, Ohio is at half the unemployment level it was last June. There were around 600,000 people looking for work then. Now, it's down to about 291,000. And Ohio is below the national average, which is 5.9% unemployment. So despite the slight uptick, this is actually a strong jobs report.
Absolutely. Again, we're seeing more people having jobs. We're seeing more people either having jobs or wanting to get a job. We saw an increase of about 13,000 people being unemployed, but we saw another 31,000 people get a job in the last month. That's great.
I also talked with a spokesman with Ohio's Job and Family Services to get their take on the numbers. Now, he tells me just because the unemployment rate slightly ticked up doesn't mean it's a bad thing. They point out June had the lowest initial claims for unemployment since the pandemic began. And they add the state has added jobs in just about every industry. I'm Christian Hauser, Local 12 News.
In Ohio right now is pretty close to pre-pandemic unemployment levels at 5%. Meanwhile, Indiana and Kentucky are both hovering around 4%.